Dallas Cowboys, Darren Bland listed as regression candidate. Dallas Cowboys starting cornerback Darren Bland will need to have a big season this year. He will be one of the starting cornerbacks along with Trevon Diggs. Dallas does not have Stephon Gilmore around anymore, and the Cowboys' defense will need to rely on those two cornerbacks. Bland last season for Dallas recorded 69 tackles, 9 interceptions, 5 defensive touchdowns, and 15 pass deflections. He was always making plays for the Cowboys' defense. There were a lot of fans who wanted him to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. Dallas Cowboys Darren Bland. January 7, 2024, Landover, Maryland, USA. Washington Commanders wide receiver Jamison Crowder, 83, is tackled by Dallas Cowboys cornerback Darren Bland, 26, during the second quarter at FedEx Field. Mandatory credit, Jeff Burke USA Today Sports. The winner of that award was Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. Bland's teammate, Micah Parsons, will be in contention for that award this season. We will see what transpires in 2024. Pro Football Network's Anthony DiBona thinks that Cowboys star cornerback will regress in the 2024 season after having a tremendous 2023 season. This comes as a surprise because Dallas fans love him. DiBona said about him regressing this season. Dallas Cowboys cornerback Darren Bland got off to a phenomenal start last year and looked to be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. Unfortunately, he struggled during the second half of the season, allowing over 100 receiving yards in 3 of Dallas' final 8 games. Did the NFL figure Bland out down the stretch, or will he bounce back in 2024? He is only 24 years old and Bland will be fine. Understandably, Trevon Diggs and Darren Bland do take massive risks at cornerback, but it pays off for them most of the time. They both will have to learn that it may not be about going for the big play all the time. That is why they both get burned in the secondary at various moments. The strength of this football team is the defense. There is a lot of talent on that side of the football. They were 12-5 a season ago and won the NFC East. Dallas will be in the Super Bowl conversation, but the Cowboys did not make moves in the offseason. Bland may not be the only one that regresses, but the entire team may regress during the 2024 season. A regression by Dallas this season will cost many people their jobs. Head coach Mike McCarthy has not been happy with the way things have operated this season under owner Jerry Jones. Jones has mentioned time and time again that the Cowboys are all in, but the fans do not believe it at all. It may also cause them to start all over. 10. What does Zimmer's defense look like? July 10, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. Mickey Spagnuolo, the base defense still is a 4-3, but a truer 4-3 with 3 actual linebackers on the field against teams lining up in 12 formation, 2 tight ends, suggesting running options. Think you will see far fewer times the Cowboys trying to stop those running alignments, 21 with a fullback, with a big safety. But a lot of that will have to do with finding a capable third linebacker to go with Eric Kendricks and Damone Clark. And there are a few candidates, including the return of last year's injured rookie DeMarvion Overshown, third-round draft choice Marist Liufau, and possibly even veteran Damian Wilson in certain down and distances. Nickel will be the nickel, and Mike doesn't hesitate to man up, assuming Trevon Diggs returns good as knee from his ACL repair. Zim also is a fan of hanging with a large man at the note tackle spot. Patrick Walker, we're talking about the OG of bluffing the blitz here, so expect plenty of confused offenses when facing the Cowboys' defense. Additionally, Zimmer demands a lot of his linebackers and defensive tackles, hell-bent on stopping the run even more so than taking the ball away. Don't get me wrong, he still wants takeaways and has a staff that will coach that into the players, e.g., Al Harris, but Zimmer lives and dies on his defense's ability to stop the run. He's a key reason for the signing of Eric Kendricks and drafting of Marist Liufau, and the decision to require Motzie Smith put weight back on to be a double-team eater at nose tackle, while also adding Justin Rogers in the draft to help the cause. It's a defensive scheme that's going to work from the inside out, not from the outside in, and, if you'd like to take a look at what capable running backs did last season and in recent years against the Cowboys, you can probably appreciate it. Nick Eatman, it'll be aggressive for sure. Zimmer isn't one to sit back and wait for things to happen. Now, don't forget that when you blitz a lot or stack the box, it'll open up more big plays for the offense. I think you'll see a lot of sacks once again and maybe even more turnovers and pressures. But you'll be putting your corners on the island a little more and may be prone to allowing long passes over the top. That's when you can only hope that Trayvon Diggs is fully back to his all-pro self again. I think you'll also see a change in the linebacker philosophy, and they will be focused much more on stopping the run than we've seen in the past. If Eric Kendricks can show he hasn't lost a step, this defense can be pretty good against the run, which allows you to do a lot more things on the back end. Oh, and then there's Micah Parsons. I think Zimmer's defense will allow him to shine as much as ever from wherever the spot he's lining up at. Kurt Daniels, we've been hearing Zimmer will have more 3 linebacker sets in his defense, but I wonder if that's really true. He was last a defensive coordinator in 2013 with Cincinnati, and of the top 10 personnel formations the Bengals used that season, 7 had only 2 linebackers on the field, including the top 3 alignments. Likewise, in Zimmer's final year as head coach of the Vikings in 2021, the top 6 and 8 of the top 10 personnel formations featured just 2 linebackers. So it just doesn't seem like we're going to see a lot of change in that regard. Where we hopefully will see change, though, is in the size of those linebackers, the use of the defensive tackles, and the physicality of the defense overall. Analyst believes Dak Prescott should play out his contract. The Dallas Cowboys have officially backed themselves into a corner. They have yet to sign Dak Prescott to a contract extension, and he is entering the final season of his current deal. Prescott has experienced some ups and downs throughout his career but is generally well regarded around the league. He might not have brought the Cowboys to the Super Bowl yet, but he's played well enough during the regular season to warrant a new contract. However, the Cowboys don't seem too eager to move forward with a deal, which could force Prescott's hand to look into other teams. There have been many mixed opinions about this decision throughout the offseason, some of which are in Prescott's favor, and others tend to side with the Cowboys. Emmanuel Acho recently presented a case for Prescott in a segment of Speak on FS1. "I think Dak should definitely play out the contract," Acho said, also adding, "Dak will get paid either way." Acho believes that no matter if he plays for the Cowboys or another team next season, Prescott will get the massive paycheck he is searching for. The Cowboys have received criticism for not paying him the current market rate, especially since the price of quarterbacks has gone up every season. They've had plenty of time to put pen to paper with Prescott, and if something doesn't happen soon, he could grow frustrated with negotiations. If the Cowboys don't end up retaining Prescott after the 2024 season, they could see a significant quarterback change moving forward.